I will tell you that we opened our business in West Dallas in 2020, and it took me until 2022 to tell people that we weren't in Milwaukee. We're a food truck, and we bounce around and be, oh, where are you located? And I would always say, someone would be like, West, and I'd be like, Milwaukee, we're in Milwaukee. And now I can square up my shoulders and proudly say West Dallas. I love it. I love where we're at.
What is one thing about Stallis we didn't talk about that you would want to make sure everyone knows?
Hot mayor.
Oh, Mr. Divine.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Milwaukee Uncut. Today we get to highlight one of my favorite places in the greater Milwaukee area, the city of West Dallas, better known as Stallis. We've got some amazing guests. We've got award-winning dining editor from OnMilwaukee, Lori Fredrich. We got Chef T, KO, and his partner Carly from Wild Roots, and we've got Dana Spandet from Flower, Girl, and Flame, which has amazing pizza I can speak of from firsthand experience. So if you're looking for some amazing hidden gems, restaurants, dive bars, thrift shops, and things to do in West Dallas, and just how the city's really risen over the last decade, I would say this is a good episode for you. Before diving in, just want to thank our partners who make this show possible and whose stuff is around the studio while you'll be watching this. Nicolay Law, the Midwest law firm. Three Sheeps, the Beer Wisconsin Drinks, and Drink Wisconsin Beverage Company. All right, let's dive in.
I live in Milwaukee, and I worked in Tosa before moving to West Dallas.
When did you move there?
It was 2017, and it was a very reluctant move from Tosa to West Dallas. And we've all heard, I loved that we're calling it Stallis now because we know where that comes from. We've all heard dirty Stallis and all of that. And 6 years ago, and even, and beyond, that's very much the stigma that we were operating under. So it was kind of a reluctant move to West Dallas. It made sense for business. We were used to seeing puppies and babies go in front of our North Avenue window in Tosa, and we moved to a spot, our spot in West Dallas in 2017. It was a reluctant move, and over then the last couple of years, I mean, gosh, the community of West Dallas has really shown through. We've got, T mentioned, we have some really exciting coffee shops moving in. We have young people, we have families. It's become a destination, I think, for business and residential, commercially to hang out and all that good stuff.
And Laura, you've been covering food in the area for a decent amount of time. How have you seen Stallis evolve over the last 5-10 years?
5 or 10 years. You just look at where T and Wild Roots, where he settled down, and that whole area. It's right near West Dallas Cheese and Sausage Shop. And kudos to Mark Lutz, because he bought up buildings there and populated them with cool businesses. I mean, there's the Cheese and Sausage Shop, there's Wild Roots, there's the Bake Sale, which is a bakery, there's a Beecher Meats, which is a butcher shop, and now there's Archie's Flat Top, which has some of the best smash burgers in the city. And that created its own little community. And right down the road from that, I mean, you have JC's Tortas and all sorts of things. And then you have people like the folks that opened Reunion, and they're reclaiming portions of West Dallas. Alice Chalmers is part of the old, West Dallas that closed, I think, around the turn of the 2000s. And they have a restaurant now in part of the western campus of Alice Chalmers. And when you look at that restaurant, you see both, the old school part of Stallis and something very new and cool, video games and big, huge patios and community activation centers, And I think that's happening pretty much all over the place, where there's just new development everywhere you look. Even the farmers market, while it hasn't changed a ton, it has grown. There's performances now at the farmers market, food trucks, food truck Fridays, dining a la carte or downtown a la carte, all sorts of activities surrounding food.
We put out a newsletter a couple months ago and had a poll like right at the beginning of best farmers market in the area, and Stallis performed very, very well on it. And there, it's a good one. T, I'm curious, what's your background and why did you start Wild Roots? How did you get into it?
My background was not always in food. So my first career was actually in IT. I went to UW Milwaukee for computers and all that, and I did the whole computer scene, financial scene for about 4 years, and it just wasn't something that inspired me to wake up every single day to go to a cubicle and work on computers. For me, I always wanted. Every time I had a bad day, I would go to a restaurant and enjoy myself. And my favorite seat at the restaurant wasn't like away from the kitchen. It was always right by the kitchen. And I would look through the doors and then see this beautiful dance and chaotic clusters of like things going out. But I love that scene. So I quit my job. I went out to California went to culinary school at Le Cordon Bleu. From there, I just realized found out one of the things that I do very well was cook. Like I found it very natural for me to put flavors together, to see an ingredient and then coax a lot of flavors out of there. It's just pretty much my upbringing with my mom, because I feel like a lot of my inspiration and a lot of my flavors traits stemmed off of her. If I wasn't watching like cartoons when I was a kid, I was watching cooking shows. So I just kind of put it together as I grew up, and just kind of realized that cooking and food was always like been my thing that I enjoy doing. I just didn't realize it until like later.
Was that tough for you to make that leap, going from working with computers and saying, "Oh, I'm going to make a life-changing move and go to culinary school"?
My family was like, "T, what are you doing? Like, why are you going to like?"
I'm guessing you had a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, so this company I worked in the IT department in this really well-known financial company. They're no longer around, but I was doing well, and straight out of college, it was just I felt like that was my career at the time. But no, cooking definitely reached out farther, and I was able to travel more through cooking. But so went out to Le Cordon Bleu, and from there I got placed with a lot of these different, met all these different other chefs and restaurants throughout the world. So that's where I kind of like just didn't really look back since I started.
And can you tell us about Wild Roots? Carly, feel free to chime in here.
Yeah.
Wild Roots is really special in a lot of ways. Going from having a lot of fine dining experience, but also I did a lot of front of house for many, many years, and then switched over to DJing. And when I finally decided that I wanted to cook, I was done doing all those other things, and meeting T at the former restaurant really just kind of opened up my world. And when he talked about opening Wild Roots, just the passion and the drive behind it, and watching it start from, there wasn't even a bar in there. I walked in there and there was blue tape on the ground, and now it's this beautiful bar, fully stocked. We had, I think, two kinds of wine. Two different kinds of wine,
and a humble beginning, humble start.
5 different kinds of liquor, to now just seeing what really putting your mind to it every day.
Well, I'll tell you what,
and how it's just, I don't know, it's something special. It's some place where both of us can be creative and work with what's fresh and coming in from the farm, and not being pigeonholed into, okay, we make one kind of food, or we have this kind of food. Like having so many different influences, him more Asian, mine German and Sicilian, and just kind of putting those collaborations together
that's what it was all about.
Amazing.
Where I didn't want to be pigeonholed into a particular kind of cuisine. Wild Roots, the name kind of conceptually was kind of like wild being. I do love wild game, so there's going to be a lot of wild game on the menu. We go out and forage,
Foraging,
and we
yep.
have other foragers that come through. So there's wild forage edibles that's natural to the local area of Wisconsin. And the roots not only was like working with farmers and having roots, but also means like having a foundation. So a lot of the dishes that we have, for instance, like the bulgogi meatballs, bulgogi is a Korean style barbecue, put in a way that's recognizable with the meatballs, but also serving with kimchi, so that everything makes sense. There's a foundation, there's roots, and we build upon that. And every single dish is kind of that type of style, philosophy.
T, it was so exciting when Wild Roots came onto the scene. I mean, for me personally as a chef, you had the nasty bits on your menu. So they were using, tip to tail, the whole part, the weird stuff, the stuff that everybody, normally composts or whatever. But they were doing it. They had a little section and it was just like, man, you're doing it the right way and you're doing it different than any restaurant we've seen in West Dallas come through. So
Appreciate that.
cheering for you, man.
cheering.
Every day, chef.
Thank you.
Dana, before getting to you, T and Carly, as a couple working together in a very chaotic, high-stress industry, Bree and I work together as well. Do you have any advice for couples who work together? How do you make
We
things
don't have
work?
any issues whatsoever.
Not
I'm
at all.
sure. Nothing.
Sometimes taking a deep breath goes a long way.
Take a deep breath.
But also just remember why you're there and remember that you're both driving towards the same goal and you're trying to create something beautiful together.
You know what? I think, taking a deep breath, understanding that we both are working toward the same goal, and we have our separate roles that we do. Obviously there'll be some troubles or issues that will arise, but that's with everything. But I think for the most part, it's like realizing what outweighs that is that having someone that understands you, that's there, that supports, and helps row the boat at the same time.
Has your back the whole time.
Having that support right there is huge.
That's well said. Is one of you the higher stressed person and one the lower stressed and one the more organized and one more disorganized, or how's the dynamic?
Yes. All
Yes.
of that.
I would definitely probably be on the more organized and kind of, like putting together menus and doing that sort of stuff a lot more and also I have to manage the front of house girls. So it's like you kind of have to have that sort of structure going on. But I mean, I don't know. I think we both take turns on who gets to be more stressed.
We have our strengths.
Sounds very relatable. All right, just selfishly had to ask. Dana, how did you start Flower Girl and Flame? What is your backstory?
Yeah, I was working at a catering company in West Dallas, 67th and Lincoln. It was a converted George Webb's. I think it was a George Webb's in the 60s. And then COVID happened. So we were actually at a catering conference in Las Vegas in March of 2020, learning how to cater, bigger and better and all of that when they started to shut the buffets down when we were out there. So we came back and we laid off, 100 people right before our season was about to kick off. And then I ended up buying the pizza trailer and been opening up Flower Girl then in 2020.
Were you laid off or were you laying the people off?
I was laying off people.
How tough was that to do?
It was awful, just awful. It was myself and then the owner and then our other hospitality partner. So the three of us kind of sitting there being like, what now? We ended up rolling out a grill, big wood burning grill onto the sidewalk on Lincoln Ave and hanging a sign that said chicken wings and then tacos. And we'd light that fire and, the smoke would go up and the people from the neighborhood would come. And it was kind of our first, opportunity at Real Connection. And, it was still like...
Was this March, April, May 2020?
Yeah, May 2020, and it was still kind of like, all right, put the food in the bag and push it out on the sidewalk or whatever. But, because we were just having to be safe. But, we got through a little bit with that. And we were, restaurants were being paid by Jose Andres, World Central Kitchen. Milwaukee restaurants in West Dallas to make meals for unhoused and underserved parts of our community. And, for me, that it really moved a needle, being able to make eye contact with the people that we were serving. And that's kind of how Flower Girl was born. Just, needed something to matter, kind of move a needle emotionally, with local ingredients, kind of moving needles with stuff we do.
How's the growth been? I haven't been to your brick and mortar place. I've eaten from your truck before, but it looks like you have a really nice spot.
Yeah. The growth has been, I thought it would be kind of a side hustle deal, a don't quit your day job type thing. And we're going, man. It's good.
Awesome. I want to get into some questions about Stallis and some recommendations for listeners. If you all were going on a Stallis date night, planning one out, what would you recommend someone does?
I would send people to either Wild Roots.
I'm trying to not yell out
Flower
Wild
Girl and
Roots
Flame.
because it's
Yeah.
All right.
like,
What should
it's
someone
so
do maybe
obvious.
before Wild Roots and after Wild Roots if someone's doing it, maybe a drink, dinner, and a nightcap somewhere?
Yeah. No, I have to mention them. But I would also send people to Antigua. For sure.
That's
Antigua,
what I was
Mexican
Oh,
place.
that is such
Yes.
a great answer. Yeah, that's a good one.
Caulfield's Wine Bar could be a before and after, or a date night because they have some pretty good food. They're right on the strip. And if you want to go really casual, I don't know, Camino is pretty awesome. Camino and Caulfield's are the same owners, but I think they are both more recent additions to the downtown area and like fun, hip, cool.
Very good bar food at Camino.
Very good bar food.
Yes.
And Caulfield's is like, a step up. I mean, it's a wine bar, but it's not stuffy. So and that's why, great date night.
Little
place.
cheese plates and stuff like that. Just nice little appetizers, couple entrees, nothing.
What if you're
ginormous.
vegan? Would you have a date night recommendation for a vegan? We have a beautiful new vegan restaurant. Oh, you guys doing vegan too?
Absolutely, yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Go to
Wild
Wild
Roots has
Roots.
vegan, tip to tail. Oh, stem to blossom. We can do it.
Okay, T and Carly, without being able to recommend your own
Roots.
place,
I would
where
not
would you
recommend
send
mine.
people on Stallis date night?
I would have definitely gone with Antigua for sure. I've never gotten to go inside your place because you have basically the same hours.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You have basically the same hours as us, so it's always hard. But yeah, they're really cute. They're also family owned, been there for quite some time, and creative, flavorful, Latin inspired food.
Honestly, West Dallas, they think it's like kind of like a suburb of Milwaukee, but it's West Dallas City. Within the city, you could definitely find a lot of different things. Like we talk about Caulfield, but Corvina, which is a wonderful wine bar that's on Lincoln Avenue. Chef Paz, I think, which is like, I love these businesses in the West Dallas area where there's not identity. It's like like Chef Paz, she's from Peru, right?
Yep.
She's from Peru, and she's a character. She's very very friendly. She'll welcome you. She'll give you a hug. But you could tell her personality is in the cuisine.
Absolutely.
Same thing with Corvina. It was just owned by two brothers, and they're phenomenal. They're the wine list and the tastings that they do. One of the best cocktail bar in the Milwaukee area, I would say, Station 6.
Yeah. Station 6.
Station 6
right
is one of the
across from
best.
us. Yeah.
Cocktails.
Right on
Got a
Beecher.
really,
That's
really
that
nice
whole area.
patio there
Right.
as well.
Beautiful patio,
Yep.
right across the street from us. But that Beecher Street right now from 68th to all the way down to like 70th, where there's a lot of businesses growing, but also where we're also like what did they say? High tides, all ships rise. So a lot of people come to Station 6. We'll have a little pre-cocktail to come over to eat by us. They'll have a little snack by the pastry shop. They can buy
Go get ice cream at Scratch.
ice cream at Scratch.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a lot of interesting new businesses coming within the past 5 years in West Dallas.
I feel like one thing, especially in the last like two years or so, is I'll be driving and I swear I notice a new place. Like every 2 weeks, I'll be driving by and be like, oh, how did I not notice that before? Like, we got to go stop there. And I think that's kind of, I think if you just went out with no plan on a date night and said, let's just go stop at a bunch of places and have an appetizer here, a cocktail there, you could have a really good time and eat some really cool food.
Yeah, we have absolutely. Pizza Place, Ope, the brewery that just came on.
Perspective's a very good
Perspective as
hidden
well,
gem.
which is
We'll
just
like bringing him down there and doing the brewery crawl between those two, if you want to call it a crawl. Especially in the winter, they let dogs inside at both places. So,
Is the Santa Claus bike crawl bike thing? Is that just a West Dallas thing, or is that all Milwaukee?
I think they do one downtown
I was
too.
gonna say, I think
They
everyone
definitely
does
do
one
one
downtown
downtown,
as well.
but yeah, I don't know if you can consider two breweries a crawl, but we do like doing the open perspective back and forth.
Sure.
We'll call it that. Dana, what would you add to Stallis Date Night?
Well, it's funny. I wrote it down. I have a drink at Corvina and then a date with Chef Paz afterwards. With her specifically because she's amazing. She's funny and very loud and bright. And I've had a couple meals there, and every time there's always something surprising on the menu, and it is Peruvian, and so you might not know exactly what it is, and she's right there, man. She'll tell you everything. So, that'd be a great first date. I think she'd be a good buffer if anyone needed it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Next, how about best dive bars in Stallis? Some of our listeners are probably wondering, do we need to bring Corey Savage on here with a microphone?
Well, my vote would definitely. I know it's owned by my wonderful friends Ben and
good friends
Cody,
of ours,
but
yeah.
Stally Cats is, I feel like, one of the most unique and interesting dive bars, and they are really trying to do a lot for the art scene, not just in West Dallas, but in general of Milwaukee, and very inclusive. They really get out there. They do shuttles. They also have been kind of like closing down the block and doing like little parties and doing pub crawls. Very, very into supporting everything animals all the way around. But I guess that would have to be my vote.
Yeah, Stally Cat's probably first. I enjoy Flappers
Oh yeah,
as
Flappers.
well.
Flappers is cute.
The Flower Girls can be found at Studs with a Z
Yep.
on National
Studs,
Ave after most events. So,
Noted.
yeah.
What's that, Studs?
I have yet
draws
to.
you in there?
I have yet to put a foot into Studs.
Oh,
Actually,
so not you.
Yes, yes.
Just the girls you employ.
Yep. Yeah, they like it down there.
All right.
So,
If anyone wants to meet the Flower Girls, go to Studs
Studs with a Z on
with
National.
a Z on National.
That's right.
Lori, have you been there
Flower Girls
before?
has Studs. At Studs?
Yeah.
I haven't.
They
I
have
haven't.
food in baskets.
But there are
Said it's good.
hundreds of bars.
Yes.
And probably at least 100 dive bars.
You have any that
So-
stand out to you?
I love Philo's. And
Yes.
named after, so its own, Lou is the owner. She's amazing and snarky, and I go there for Lou. I mean, really, but there's a rocket on the front of the building. And
to do.
it's named,
I'll pop
and it's
in.
named Philo's because Lou has Greek friends who said that you call your friends Philo, like the dough. Like that's a reference to friends. But this place is like it's like going back in time. I mean, it's like
Good food,
the
too.
60s. They have great burgers and on like Sheboygan hard rolls. Everything about this place is something that I love. It's like a little piece of history, but not too modern. It's divey,
No,
very
yeah.
very barish, owned by a woman. I don't know.
Love it.
And
That's
there's
a
a
great one.
beautiful garden in the back, which technically isn't. The owners live in the building, and it's technically their garden. But if you're nice, they'll let you meander around the garden.
What about any just hidden gems in general? That could be, they could be bars, restaurants, shops, coffee shops, or must-try spots.
I'm going to say Ultra Twist Vintage. also on national. I think they're in their third year of business, and it's like a thrift store for clothes, but it's vintage clothes, and the owner does a lot with very inclusive styling, and does talks locally about how clothing makes you feel in your body and things like that. And so she's doing great work for the community.
I think that's Vanessa is the owner of that one. I'm not sure, but thrift stores have popped up so much. I feel like in the last few years, I haven't gotten to walk into too many of them, but they always, I don't know, there's always seemed to be a new one and just really neat kind of knickknacks and
I feel like that's awesome because that feels like a Stallis thing. I don't know, it's cool. It's, repurposing things. And you find the coolest stuff. But they probably have, I don't know if they have better stores in the surrounding area, but lots more of late, for sure.
For other areas, I think Philo was definitely, for me, it's like definitely a hidden gem. There's this new Ethiopian coffee place that's on Greenfield that I think that's doing really spectacular coffee. Just the way they make the coffee is unique. Just a little bit different.
At K Street Cafe, I got to try a little bit of there. They had a bulgogi bowl with kimchi and all sorts of stuff, and I was like, "That's
Korean
right up."
cafe.
Yeah, that's right up my alley.
K-pop.
Yep, K-pop cafe.
K-shop.
K Street Cafe.
K Street
K-town.
Cafe.
Yeah.
K Street? K Street.
Yep, right on Greenfield.
Korean-owned coffee shop, and they have like their own, Korean style menu sandwiches.
Lots of
There's a new
tea
Puerto
sandwiches.
Rican coffee shop called Aroma, too. They have great Puerto Rican cake. I don't even have a sweet tooth.
That's my personal hidden gem. I'd appreciate you telling no one. Thank you. Thank you. It's already busy enough in there.
But it's right across the street from Flower Girl and Flame. So
It-
if you go
it
there in the
is,
winter,
yeah.
you can bob over there.
I can
and
peek in their windows.
And that area, it's nice to see that area filling out because that's another thing is that was
Oh, it's such
pretty-
a dead zone down there.
empty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've
kind of-
really. I mean, they've really brought life to that corner.
I mean, you have a train.
we have a train, but they brought life to the corner. So
For sure.
Yeah.
And aside from Aroma, I really respect, there's a hidden gem called State Fair Inn, and they're only open a couple days a week, but they have one of the best fish fries in the city. They're right close to State Fair, and they've been around for a very, very long time. So they have a lot of history. And I think there's a few places, like Kiggles Inn is going to be the one that comes up immediately, for fish fry and classic fish fry. But State Fair Inn is like,
I've always heard of it, but I've
always
never
heard
gotten
of
to
it.
try it.
I've never heard of it.
So you have to go there, and
Never
you
heard
have
of
to
it.
get there early because all of the regulars go there at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So get in, or there's gonna be a line.
We've had people come and tell us about it, and it's just
delicious.
we never get to get in there because
Yeah.
it's the weekend.
Is Fourth Base in Milwaukee across from the VA? Is that
West-
where you go in and you pick
West
out your
Milwaukee.
steaks
Yeah.
and all? Oh, that's West Milwaukee.
But West Milwaukee is so small. The
Okay.
West Dallas should adopt West Milwaukee.
Oh, you think that
'Cause
should be
it's
the
just-
next
it's a
campaign?
tiny
The
little
fourth
place.
base
An
is
adoption
iconic.
campaign.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Lake Effect Coffee probably would not be considered a hidden gem to people who live in that area, but someone invited me for a meeting there, and I had never heard of it. It was probably around this time last year, and that is a great coffee shop.
It's got a great name.
It's
Yes.
everything. I was so surprised. I mean, I'm right down the street from it. It took me a year to get in there 'cause it's on a weird point. I don't know where to park.
Cool building.
It's a great building.
Such a unique building, and it's so lovely inside there. Great people.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it a hidden gem, but it's definitely. I mean, it's right front and center as you drive through up to Greenfield and North Avenue. But it's a beautiful place. The inside, amazing. I mean, the renovation they did was really solid.
What would you all say the biggest misconceptions about Stallis are?
I think we're cute and we're beautiful, and I think people are still I don't know. I think everybody knows we're cute and beautiful by now, though. It's kind of been an uphill climb, but I will tell you that we opened our business in West Dallas in 2020, and it took me until 2022 to tell people that we weren't in Milwaukee. We're a food truck, and we bounce around and be, oh, where are you located? And I would always say, someone would be like, West, and I'd be like, Milwaukee, we're in Milwaukee. And now I can square up my shoulders and proudly say West Dallas. I love it. I love where we're at.
Yeah, I think I would second that. Where in my name, in my website name, I put MKE because I was figured more people would realize that we're in Milwaukee. But as the years progress, I mean, I'm definitely very proud to be in West Dallas. I believe the city has done a great job. The mayor and the aldermen and everyone's involved. That they're very pro small business. They're really trying to change
much.
the atmosphere and the image of the area, and I think it's definitely shows right now. And I think we are geared to be even bigger and better.
I think the misconception maybe would just be that, there isn't, or at least it used to be that, there's no good food, there's, there's nothing to do. And I like you were saying, that has changed so much in people's minds as of late. And I don't know, I think that's wonderful.
Lori, anything to add on your end?
Oh no, I would say people have this misconception that it's very, just, it's all about industry, and just gritty and dull. And I send more people to West Dallas to eat. And one of the things that West Dallas has that, even Milwaukee doesn't have, is they have some of the best ethnic restaurants. They have the best regional Chinese restaurants in the city. I make a list of 4 or 5 top must-try regional Chinese restaurants. 3 of them are in West Dallas.
You want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, of course. Szechuan, you get food from Chengdu, China. Fortune, if you look on there, they have an American Chinese menu, but they also have a Cantonese menu with amazing Cantonese food. And then Fusion Cafe, which has a very confusing name. You're going to find some dumplings and things there from northeastern China that you will not find anywhere else.
Those dumplings are amazing.
Those dumplings.
I ordered. We have to get separate.
Anything with chives
so we
in
have
it.
our own.
I don't know. That's sort of my cue to myself is anything with chives in it.
Yeah.
Order it at Fusion.
Final question. What is one thing about Stallis we didn't talk about that you would want to make sure everyone knows?
Hot mayor.
Oh, Mr. Divine.
Mr. Divine.
Silver Fox. My first ribbon cutting with him there.
Is Mr. Divine in the game? Because we do Gem of the Week on Milwaukee Uncut, where we highlight a bachelor and bachelorette in our news.
He's not.
Maybe
but-
we'll put him in honorary.
Yes, please.
An honorary
Yes,
gem.
please.
If you don't
Yeah.
consider the spelling, his last name's Divine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he's
everyone
help-
should know this.
He's
though.
hot,
So,
helpful.
What's his first name?
Funny?
Dan.
Dan Divine. That's got a nice ring to it too.
Yeah.
Devine.
And I believe that he was born and raised in West Dallas.
Yes.
I believe that you're correct.
And that amount
a
of
Dallas man through and through.
stick-to-itiveness and loyalty is remarkable.
Everybody tells him that, oh, you should run for governor. And he's like, it's, you don't want to lose him, but at the same time, you're kind of like, God, you actually have so much
look at
integrity
him.
and so much, just so much caring for the people that you are looking out for. It's not just, like, oh, well, whatever. And send them on their way. He's just
He's not
actually
just
really
a pretty
cares.
face. That's
Yeah.
where she's going with this.
He really cares.
He's wonderful.
I mean, I'm inspired. He can, as a guy who's losing his
Yeah.
hair and struggling and hanging on for dear life
That
right
could
now.
be you.
Dan Divine can
I
pull it
know.
off.
He's-
He just said
He's
he
inspo.
just got it off. A little stubble, still has a nice smile on his face. I like this guy.
It works.
All right, so that's the one thing we wanted people to know about West Dallas, that there's a hot but taken mayor, Dan Divine,
And it's like he's not playing politics. I mean, he actually
putting the city on his
once
back.
He'll come in. He'll
Yeah.
know who you are.
He's doing big things.
No, yeah, I agree. Well, yes, I will agree.
Yeah, no. No,
We could do a live call-in if we wanted to. Dan Divine. I'm sure he has nothing better to do right now.
I would just underscore that anyone who is looking to start a business, if they're not having luck finding a place, they're going to get the most help ever from the folks.
I send
in West Dallas.
everyone to
I
West Dallas.
send
Anyone
so
that's
many
even
people.
baby thinking about starting something kind of cool. It's just go to West Dallas, talk to them.
People come to me with properties that they would like to get rid of. So like sometimes I feel a little bit like a broker, but sometimes people come to me and ask like, "Hey, I want to do this," and I ask them what they want to do, and usually Stallis is the
Do it in
answer.
Stallis.
And I say that, I mean, like that's like a commercial, but
Buying homes
true.
as well.
Yeah.
But it's
Buying a
true.
home.
It is very true.
yeah.
How's the housing market in Stallis right now?
Rising.
11% year after year. I don't know how I know that, but that is a real statistic.
and younger couples and people, you know, really when I said it, you know, it's got it's vibrant and it's, you know, it's really kind of building. It's, you know, people are buying their first homes and making a life there and putting effort into it. And, you know, the gardens I see just, you know, like people really, really, really care. It's actually becoming so beautiful.
I get a lot of emails from realtors connecting their potential homebuyers with restaurants.
Yes.
And
We get those too.
You know, at first I was kind of like, what are you doing now? You know, but it's wonderful. I mean, we're getting to meet these people coming in. They're introduced to business owners. I've had people say,
cool.
we moved to West Dallas because your business was there. I loved it. You know, so yeah, we're doing good.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today. It was great meeting you all. Lori, great seeing you.
No, thank you
Thank
for having
you
us.
so
This
much
is
for
a
having
lot of fun.